everybody. Welcome to my YouTube channel. This is Book Talk with Miss Lady P. What's up, y'all? We about to get straight into what this first episode is about. The first episode of Book Talk with Miss Lady P, we're going to talk about the Thug Passion series. I'm going to title it The Breakdown. So we're going to do somewhat of a Thug Passion breakdown. Not a full extended one because, as y'all know, it's 17 books already, and I'm currently in the process of working on the 18th book, which is titled Thug Ambition. So let's rewind. Let's go all the way back to the beginning. You know, the very beginning. Well, this is not my first book. This is the book that catapulted my career as an author. When I first started writing, I had Living for Love, Down for Loyalty, and it came out. It just wasn't popping like I wanted it to. My publisher was like, no, you have to write a book, you know, that's going to get people to read you, to get people to see who you are as an author. And to this day, I still, every time I drop a book, I try to make it better than the last book. Because readers, they come, readers go, they change. Every month we have a different set of new readers and things like that. So it's important that we keep them, you know, keep them coming back. But anyway, I kind of got off of the subject a little bit. But let's head back to Thug Passion. Okay, so when I released this book, I had no idea that it would become this dope series that it is today. Like, some people call it a classic. I like to put it in a classic category, but I've only been writing for 8 years. I say only because there's some people who've been in the game forever, they're legends, and they're still writing. I was reading their books before I decided to be an author. So a lot of people call it a classic, but I feel like it's a classic, but I still know I have some time to go before it becomes that legendary book. Fingers crossed, you know. So first, I'm gonna let y'all know how to pronounce Thug's name, okay? I'm gonna say this and say it loud. This is how you pronounce Thug's name. His name is Kajari. So if y'all been saying all them different crazy K-ass names, y'all been saying it wrong. His name is Kajari Thug Kenneth. Yes. The motherfucker book back to come see, okay? So if you ain't never read the Thug Passion series, I don't know what you missing. Go ahead, head over to Amazon and get all up into Thug Passion. Okay, I'm gonna keep it going. Now, as y'all know, for those of you who have read this series, who have fell in love with this series, I know that I have you guys on a roller coaster ride out of this world, because I'm even on a roller coaster ride with it, because sometimes I forget myself. I literally have to call people sometimes and say, did this person have a baby? Did I kill this person? Did I do this? Did I do that? And sometimes I forget. So I did write down a couple of notes because I did want to touch on some things far as the breakdown goes. So a lot of people ask me, how did you come up with all those names? And do you know the kids' names in order? Well, I wrote them down, but I know that I can say them off the top of my head, and I'm going to start with the oldest. We have KJ, Kajarie, Kajaya, Kane, Cash, Kaya Kahari. Those are Thug and Tahari's 7 kids. Of course, we just added Kylie. If you know, Kylie it was Nico's daughter, who is now being raised by Thug and Tahari. Ain't that crazy? Y'all know how this book started off, right? Like, who would have known years later, after everything that Nico put them through, everything Tahari went through him, that one day she would have one of his children in her home. I mean, with the Thug Passion series, we know anything is possible, because this shit, the stuff that I put in this book, y'all, is crazy. But anyway, back to it. And then we have Kadaria. And Kadaria is the baby that we just found out about in Forever a Thug's Passion. So in their household as a whole, they have 9 kids. It would have been 10, but Kajariana died. So I should have added her. When I said the 7, it's actually 8 of them, but they had a daughter who died. So had she not died, there would be 10 kids in total. who we consider the kin of kids, but we really now only have 9. So there's 9 kids, and if you've been reading this book, you know how it goes. But if you haven't, I strongly suggest you start from the beginning. A lot of people say they you can start from Live and Love for Down for Loyalty. In my opinion, you can also start with just the passion, but it's always good to know the backstory. And basically, a lot of my books link. So it's important that you all start from the beginning and work your way on back so that you don't be confused. Because I've had people reading book 15 and they haven't even read part 1. So that happens sometimes. But as far, like, people always ask me, how did I come up with this book? And actually, y'all, this book wasn't even titled this. It was, I can't remember what the title was, but I do know the characters' names were different. And I just kept looking at my stats when I dropped Living for Love, Down for Loyalty, and I'm just like, how the hell am I going to do this? How am I going to level up? How am I going to show these people that I'm an author, that they need to pick up my books? I didn't want to be that author that was sent out to the side. I wanted my name in bright lights. I wanted people to see me, to know me. So I had to sit and I was trying to dig deep. And one of those things I do with my books, I dig deep. I dig within me. So I don't just sit and write books about all this crazy shit that's going on. In order for people to feel what you're writing, you have to write it from your heart. You cannot be afraid to tap into the person you're trying to be, the author you're trying to be. Don't be afraid to tap into that place, because when you tap into that place, you're going to write a book that's going to take the fuck off. And I'm letting any of you authors know, y'all looking at this, looking at my channel and needing some inspiration, keep writing. There's a book out there that's going to change your life. And that's what Thug Passion did for me. Thug Passion took me out of the projects. And I'm just being very honest. I love where I come from. I write about where I come from. If you know me, you come from my hood. You know where I'm from, the village. You guys know. My books got streets. All of that in there. Street names. Places, because I love where I come from. Because it made me who I am today. But I'm telling you guys, no matter what's going on, you got to get you a book that's going to change your career. Don't give up. Don't give up. Oh, you wrote a book and they ain't feeling it? Wait a minute. Let me go back in. Let me run that shit back real quick, But that's what Thug Passion is for me, and was for me. Thug Passion changed me. A lot of people really don't understand my reasoning for writing a book series that's lasted all the way up. Like, it's going to be 18 books, and I don't understand how I do it either. It's just something about these characters. I gravitate to them. And I think the reason it's so easy for me to write about the characters in this series is because during the time when I was writing this book, I remember being almost getting ready to lose my job, but I was also writing this book on somebody else's clock. I didn't like how I was being talked to. I don't like what was going on. And then I eventually got laid off. And when I was writing this book, I was in such a depressed place, because it's like I done lost my job. I done went to college to get a bachelor's degree in criminal justice. Like, what the hell, So that's the thing with Thug Passion. It changed me, but it also was like something I had to do that was therapeutic for me. So like, a lot of people don't like how the characters have these kids and the guys do all these crazy things. Like, when you've experienced some crazy shit in your life, it's so easy for you to channel that in words. You know what I'm saying? So with Thug Passion, that's what I do. Like, this book takes me back to a place that where I was struggling to be known. I was struggling to be a better mom. I was struggling to give my kids a better life. And I just was going through a time. But I knew that if I sat and I focused on the craft itself, I knew that I could do it. So Thug Passion for me was like a challenge. And I'm so happy that I wasn't afraid to write the book. I'm not afraid today to take this series all the way to fucking book 30 if I wanted to, because I got them in my soul, and that's how I can keep writing these books, because they're a part of me. If you're an author and you have this set of characters that change your life, they actually become a part of you. If you're in my reading group, I remember one of my girls in my reading group, they were saying how when they speak about the books, I come in and I interact with them, and I talk with them about the characters and the things that the characters say, the things that we like about them, like I didn't write the book. And that's because I feel them. Like Thug them is like my family. That's like my family, you know what I'm saying? So it's really easy for me to write these books, y'all. We gearing up for the 18th book. I said that I was done, but I don't know, because Thug Passion is that book. Like, Thug Passion is something that can go on forever and ever. And trust me, readers, I take into consideration when you guys tell me, oh, I'm tired of her writing this book. And, so sometimes when I hear y'all say that, I'll be like, oh, they getting tired of me. Let me, go ahead, put it on the shelf. But then I have a mass of people who, please don't stop this book. Oh, I love them. I read this book. It is so fulfilling for somebody to tell you that they've read your book for the 100th time. That's amazing to me, because I don't think that I'm that good that would make everybody just keep going and writing this book. And it's like, I know that this is a good book and I wrote it, but sometimes I don't believe the success of it. I don't, sometimes I feel like, am I going to, will I lose readers if I no longer wrote this series? But if I keep it going, will they keep them coming? So when you're an author, there's always things that you have to take into consideration. You got to strategize. No matter what book it is, always strategize. Don't just put a book out. Always strategize. And although this is a Thug Passion episode, I'm also always going to drop gems, because it's important. We're a part of a community, the urban fiction community, and we're so looked over. We're so talented. We have some dope authors that's making their own movies right now, and that's big for us. That's big for us in the urban fiction community, because we turn on the TV every day and we watch all these other people's shows and see all these people on the big screen. So when you see urban fiction authors out here doing that shit is so big for us. So that's another thing. Not this page, I'm sorry, y'all. That's another thing. This channel is also about awareness, and it's also about giving back and giving everybody their flowers too. There's so many authors. I'm telling y'all, I'm going to be doing book reviews. I've already reached out to some authors. So, this is my first episode, but I'm like so excited about it. So I know y'all like, P just talking. Yeah, I am just talking, y'all, but I'm just excited about this channel, because I know that it's going to bring some help to the readers. It's going to bring some awareness to them about who we are as authors, the things that we go through to get these books out. So this is a channel that's definitely for authors, readers, aspiring authors, like anybody who just feel like, I can't do it, but I want to write a book, but I don't know where to start, so this is a channel for everybody, you know what I'm saying? And everybody know me. If you know me, you follow me on my other platforms. I drink, I'm get my wine, and we gonna have these deep conversations, because these are conversations that need to be had. Okay, with that out of the way, let's go ahead and get on back into Thug Passion. So, am I done with the series? No. I want to be done with the series, but I can have a concrete answer after I do Thug Ambition. Because Thug Ambition is the 18th book, and Thug Ambition is literally their children. They now run shit, and these are different set of these is a different set of characters, because they grew up around violence. They grew up around seeing their parents fighting in front of them. They know that their parents killed. They knew at young ages what their parents did for a living. So it's already in them. It's in their blood. So when Thug Ambition come out, we're going to see how deep the bloodline go. We know that Thug Passion can go as far as I want it to go. But there's a time when we going to keep it, and there's a time when we going to let it go. Right now, I'm not so ready to let it go. I'm actually excited about doing Thug Ambition, because, Thug Passion is a series that I could do several spin-offs of. Like, I could literally do so many of them. But I don't want to overwhelm everybody with the Thug Passion series, because I know some people are like, I'm tired of this book. But I can just go far with this book. And trust me, I love new characters, but I also get tired of them fast. I don't really get tired of Thug them. When I'm struggling, I go to them. I'll go back and I'll read them, and I just be like, you know what, you got this, Patrice, you got this, well, you got this, P, so I'm telling y'all, Thug Passion, it has really changed my life, and I want to share that with people. I dropped Thug Passion 2015. It is 2022, and I cut an ugly check off this series, y'all. Cut an ugly check. Um, and it's a good thing. It's something that's very important to do when you're an author, because you want that book that's going to give you longevity. Yeah, we Amazon authors, and we know we being paid pennies. We know we're not getting paid what we're owed. And so it's good to have certain books that but if something happens to Amazon, you have gold in your hand. You have gold in your hand that can literally elevate you. That's why I say keep going. Don't give up. There's nothing that you can't do as an author. You know what I'm saying? Write that next bestseller. Write that book that's going to change your life. That's what Thug Passion did for me. It changed my life, and I cannot stress it enough. It's one of the reasons why I keep it going. I have been able to live off this book. A lot of us want to be self-employed, want to just stay home and write, and you can do it. I have been a stay-at-home author. I have not clocked on anybody's clock since 2015. It can be done. And that's just by the grace of God, because without God, none of it would be possible. So you got to give a little thanks to him, because you didn't just do it on your own, P. But, yeah, this book is near and dear to me. And I'm happy that it's near and dear to all of y'all. Like, the way y'all are with this series is amazing. It's amazing. I wanted to get into, I wanted to get into speaking about the couples of Thug Passion, but it's so many of them. So I thought that it would be fitting for me to come in and let you guys know about the next episode that I'm going to be putting up. Recently, I had received a review, and this review was just this lady. She was saying that something in the regards to that I romanticize toxic characters, toxic couples, and it's just been sitting with me. But I know I have to address this, because for years I've received a lot of backlash about Thug and Tahari's relationship, Barbie and Malik's relationship. All of these characters I have received a lot of backlash about. So next week I'm going to be discussing and uploading a video in regards to toxic relationships in the urban fiction community and why we love them. Okay? Some people just can't relate to that type of thing. It's real though. It's real though. I'm not going to get too much into that on this episode, because I'm going to save that for my next episode that I upload next week. But I want you guys to know, this was the first episode of Book Talk, but it will not be the last. I just wanted to come in and give y'all a little inspiration, talk about Thug Passion a little bit. I didn't want to overwhelm y'all with a whole Thug Passion discussion, because y'all literally know we can go for hours and hours and hours. But throughout this series of videos that I'll be uploading, we're going to discuss Thug Passion through the whole series. You know what I'm saying? My goal is to make sure I upload a video every Friday for you guys. Yes, this is Book Talk with Miss Lady P. There is so much more to come. Thank you for coming and catching my first episode of Book Talk with Miss Lady P.